It's Karen Edey, but it's okay. I get called Karen Hunter all the time, and I don't mind at all. Yeah. I am from a small island in the Caribbean. It's called Barbados. It is about the size of Rhode Island. Do you guys know where Rhode Island is? It's about as small as Rhode Island. So think about how big America is and how small Rhode Island is, and that's the entire size of my country. Yes, Rihanna is 100% one of our best exports that we've ever had. One of my favorite girls. I do not know her. She's a little bit younger than me, but if she wants to get together, if this video goes viral and she wants to meet me, hey, call me, Karen Edey. Okay. I will. When I was 4 years old, I moved to America. So I moved to New York City with my mother. And I lived in New York from the time I was 4 until I was about 14. And then I went to boarding school in Connecticut. And after boarding school, I spent 4 years in boarding school. And, I could come home. I didn't spend all my time in boarding school. I could come home on the weekends. And then after Connecticut, I went to college in Boston, Massachusetts. And then after college, I went back to New York City. And then in 2008, I moved to Asheville, North Carolina, where you guys are. I did go to Harvard, yes. That's where I was. Mm-hmm. I am a clinical pharmacist. So I'm sure you guys have seen pharmacists before. They work at CVS, they work at the supermarket. I don't work in those places. We have the same job, but I don't work in those places. I work at a place called a long-term care facility. So it's a place where people live. So I have patients that live there all of the time, and I provide them with their medications and make sure that they're getting the proper medications. And if anything needs to change, I change it, or I try to change it with the help of a doctor. So that's what I do. I am. I am. Well, I think you always kind of know that once you start going to school, you realize roles become really gendered. I don't know how to explain that. Like there are things that boys do and there are things that girls do. So when I was playing in the playground, I'd be jumping rope, and when the boys were playing, they would be playing basketball. So I was aware that there was a difference, and it was something that I enjoyed doing. It wasn't something that I was forced to do, but there were definitely gendered roles that we had in school. So I knew that I was a girl, and I loved being a girl. I loved being a girl and a woman, and all that that encompasses. But there was definitely times, growing up where you're like, oh, wow, are you saying I can't do something because I'm a girl? And then you're forced to be like, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. So there's always been advantages to being a girl. The friendships that you have, I think sometimes girl friendships are some of the best friendships. My friendship with Miss Gardner is one of the best friendships that I enjoy. So having that ability to be really close with another person is something that women experience in a different way that men experience. And that's one of the best things about being a woman. But also there's times where people judge you and don't think that you are capable of doing something because you're a woman. And that's something that we have to fight against. So does that answer your question? Hmm. Well, I don't want this to sound corny, but my most proud accomplishment, the thing I'm proudest of, is right now in my life where I've found a balance between my work and my family. I have it's me and my husband, and we just have a puppy. Her name is Phyllis. And I get to enjoy my work life and my family life. And then I have all my friends. And even though the pandemic has made it so that we can't see each other as often in person as we would like, having those close connections with my friends, and balancing that with my home life and my work life is some of and enjoying those things to the fullest is my proudest accomplishment. So I've got individual accomplishments in all of those things. Marrying my husband was a wonderful, like, I don't want to say it's an accomplishment, but finding the person that you love and that you want to be with forever is an accomplishment and is something to be proud of. Having this job that fulfills me every day that I love, enjoy doing is something that fulfills me as well. But also having all these relationships fulfills me as well. So of all of those things, I think having them all working together in like this symbiotic, which, in this, it works really well together. And I've come to a point, there were points in my life where the friendships were more important than like my work, or the work was more important than my friendships or my family. But now they're all completely balanced. And I'm really proud to have found that balance in my life. I think my greatest challenge has always been overcoming any doubts that I could have. I think people have always believed in me. I've been very lucky. I've never had anyone who was like, even though there've been people that have doubted whether how well I could do something, there's no one who's ever been like, no, you stop. This is not for you. But sometimes there are voices in your head that are like, you didn't win the first time. Maybe you should stop. Maybe stop. You fell down 5 times. Maybe let's stay down this time. And I think once overcoming that voice and being like, no, I'm going to try again. This is something I love. This is something I want to keep working at. It is the biggest challenge in my life. So, and it's something that got better with age. When I was younger, sometimes I would stop when that voice was like, Karen, it's okay. You don't have to do this. It's a lot more comfortable not getting back on that bike. You've fallen off that bike 5 times. Don't get back on that bike. And I was like, okay, who needs to ride a bike anyway? I can walk. But now that I'm a little bit older, I've learned that if it's something that I really want to do, that even though I've fallen 5 times, I need to get back up and get back on it. So that's, overcoming, getting rid of that voice, that negative self-talk is something that we call it, when you're a little bit older, quieting that voice is the biggest challenge that I face. I think a lot of people face that as well. Yes. 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 My mom is definitely one of them. Yes, 100%. And my girlfriends, my female friends. And what's interesting is that all of the time, a lot of women don't think that they're being their strongest all of the time. And sometimes we're not. Sometimes we need each other to help pull each other up. So I've had relationships where I've had to be the strong one with my, female friends. And at times I'm the one who's crying and I can go to like, Miss Gardner, please help me through this. And she's helped pull me through it. And she's been the strong friend. And sometimes she's needed me to be the strong friend. So even though you're a strong woman, you don't have to be strong all of the time. And it's easy to and just remember that even though you have days where you can cry and, you're feeling a little bit weak, just reach out to the other women that are around you and they will help pull you up, because women together, united, we're a force to be reckoned with. We are a force to be reckoned with. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of, sorry, Miss Gardner. And sometimes the things we see on TV, the things that are going to get the most ratings or the things that people are going to talk about are going to be the negative things. It's going to be when one woman is pulling another woman down or speaking badly about another woman. And we don't get to see the moments when we're lifting each other up. But if you look at, I mean, there's some great examples recently of one woman like giving another woman all of the accolades that she deserves, you know? And we just have to keep looking for those moments, because they don't make the best stories. They don't make the front pages of the newspaper or lead in the news, but those are the moments that really get us through. So just keep looking for the strength in sisterhood, because it's always there and it will always exist. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it is one of the most important things that you can ever pursue in your life, and education. And all of our paths to education aren't going to be the same. We can all take different roads, but just keep pushing and keep going forward. And education comes in a lot of different forms. Like, not everyone's going to be, you know, a pharmacist or be the vice president of the United States. But, you know, if you're going to be an electrician, you know, you have to go to school to become an electrician. You can be the best electrician that there is out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's so many paths that we can take, but making sure that you cross every bridge as you get to it, you know, finishing middle school, finishing high school. And if college is the way that you need to go, going to college, going to trade school, because education is always going to be the key to the future. There's no escaping it, and embracing it and loving it, finding joy in education, is one of the best things that you can do with your life. Nope. And it never stops. Even now, today, I'm about to be really old, guys. I'm about to be 42 years old, and I'm still looking to learn. You know, I'm looking to learn whatever I can in order to expand my mind. It's some of the most fulfilling work that you can do, is learning and growing and pursuing your education. Yes. I think I think we've talked about a lot of the things that I would give as advice to women, and particularly women of color. There are always going to be hurdles. There will always be something that's in your way. But, you know, there are several ways to get around a hurdle. You can go under that hurdle, you can go over that hurdle, or you can go around it. And there's always going to be a way for you to get through it or get past this moment. And it might take you a little while. It might take you longer than you thought it would. You know, I didn't become a pharmacist until I was in my 30s. And sometimes people think they're going to find their perfect career when they're 22 years old. I didn't find my perfect career until I was in my 30s. And I am so happy that I did. So never stop. just keep going until you find the thing that you love and that fulfills you, because you are all stars. We are all stars. We can all accomplish whatever we want to do. And just don't let the pressure stop you. Do not let it stop you, because you are all can be whatever you want to be. And I believe in each and every one of you. Yes. Yes. Yeah, of course.